Friday. Good morning and happy Friday, everybody. It's finally here. Friday. And you know what that means? The Celebrity Crash Report. So every Friday, I take my exclusives I've done on my Substack and for News Nation, and I run them down for you here. And of course, the biggest story of the week was Hez and Megs going to Australia. My God. I mean, the balls of those two. I love it so much. Now, meanwhile, you do have to understand, I have been assured that the trip is privately funded, which goes to my first story because Australians really don't want them there. Regular Australians, perhaps some, climby sorts, the Real Housewives of Melbourne sorts might want them there, but the regular Australians are kind of like, yeah, pass, no. And by the way, we don't want any of our tax dollars going to your protection or to anything. So they started a change.org petition, which has gathered thousands of signatures. It's hilarious, saying we don't want them here. We don't want our tax dollars going to this. This is absurd. And the reason why they would think their tax dollars is going is two reasons. Number one, the trip is privately funded, not by Harry or Meghan. And you know these two only go first class, right? So I was saying it's likely that the Intercontinental Hotel, through its marketing budget, is copying some of this. Not to mention, when a hotel flies people down, I know this, I used to be in the travel industry. When a hotel flies people down, journalists, influencers, whatnot, and that is basically what Harry and Meghan are these days, influencers. That's it. They usually get money from the tourism board. So that would be tax dollars. Also, what kind of security are they going to have? If they have a police security, that is also tax dollars. And let's just get into exactly why Australians can't stand them. Because while Meghan and Harry have a very limited memory, the Australians are like elephants, or I should say crocodiles. These guys never forget. And in 2018, when Harry and Meghan were actually royal, and 6 months into their marriage, they did their first tour down under. They go. Meghan's glowing. She's glowing because she lets it slip during the tour that, boom, she's pregnant. Wow. So everyone's really excited. Crowds of people lined up to meet her. She was even more popular. She and Harry were more popular than William and Catherine at that point. So they go out, they meet, and unfortunately for Meghan, she was overheard, and it was put in a book, Courtiers by Valentine Lowe, that she said, why are all these people around here? It's silly. And then she said, I can't believe I'm not being paid for this. Yeah, that's a huge, nasty remark. Also, by the way, Megs, why do you think people line up for movie premieres? Why do you think people line up for a premiere of, I don't know, your one-time show, Suits? They like a little magic. They want a little entertainment. That's basically what your job in the royal family was. And it was what your job was before. And also, as for payment, girl, please, you lived for free. You ate for free. All your bills were covered. And you and Harry could have afforded a little bit of extra. Who cares? If I had all my bills covered, I'd be like, yes, fine, I will. Whose hand would you like me to shake? Fine. But no, that wasn't good enough. Now, also on that trip, there were also allegations that got even nastier. Meghan was apparently upset that she did not get the entire governor's house. She was only given one wing. Her, Harry, and their 4 staff had to deal with one wing. I mean, how did she deal with this? I don't know. God, the horror, right? What the hell? So she also apparently did not get along with the Governor General's wife, who is a lovely, lovely woman. And this lovely woman did not want to be photographed with Meghan after, I don't know, the first day. And there was also the old tea incident in which a cup of tea was either dropped or thrown, spilled definitely, on or near someone who may or may not have gotten a cash payout, allegedly. But the Australian public is talking about it big time. They're also talking about how on that tour, they then went to Fiji. And this is great. In Fiji, she was overheard hissing at a staff, berating the staff member, and the staff member then ended up in absolute floods of tears, as witnessed by the Daily Mail's Rebecca English, who wrote it all up for us. Thank you, Rebecca. And the thing about Aussies is, no, you don't get to do that. You don't. They are down, salt of the earth kind of people, and they don't forget. This is insane. So, of course, there was a change.org petition signed. They don't want their money there. And a lot of people are saying, well, who's going to show up? And I'll tell you exactly who's going to show up. People like the Real Housewives of Melbourne, that kind of crowd, not the actual socialites, unless they were kind of arm twisted to do, but all the Soho House people, because of course, Meghan is doing this absurd girls' weekend for $2,700 in Coogee Beach at the new Intercontinental Coogee Beach, which is also known as Coogee Beach, because apparently there's so much slurry and sewage runoff that the beach is inundated with actual poo. So when Meghan goes to Coogee and the Intercontinental with her friends, charging them $2,700, that's US, it's more in Australian. I mean, she's proposing to talk about your best life, which is hilarious to me because, again, I'll say it before I'll say it again. Meghan's best life was led because she met and married a rich international prince. I'm going to write that one down. To do. Marry rich international prince. I mean, come on, because everything since then has been down. I mean, the goodie bags are going to be full of like dried flowers and tea. I want my money back. I'd hope at least she's going to bring some of her booze, but oh wait, she can't because of international trade laws, and Australia is super strict. So I'm sure she'll maybe get some, penfolds. Who can say? Meanwhile, Hazza, that poor guy, Harry's going down to Melbourne. This is my favorite thing ever, where people will be charged thousands to listen to him keynote a whole thing about mental health in the workplace. I mean, okay, if there are any Australians watching, please, I'm begging you, can you please hold up your hand and ask Harry how he feels about his own staff's mental health in the workplace, considering his wife and he have had a bullying pattern of staff for 10 years now. And many of them have left, needed mental health help. Many of them call it the worst times of their lives. It's just, they have something called the Sussex Survivors Club. I'm not sure that if you have a whole group of people who say they've survived you, that you should be talking about mental health in the workplace. I'm also not sure you should be talking about mental health in the workplace when, in fact, you've never actually worked. I mean, to be fair, he is on the board or the face of something called BetterUp, a mental health kind of tech thing, which also, if you go on Glassdoor and other job review places, gets a horrific mental health rating. But that's okay. Harry gets $1 million a year. Good for him. Woo! Meanwhile, I do hear he's getting around 50 grand for that speech. Nowhere near the million he could have gotten in 2020. Harry and Meghan, BT Dub, when they first left and did their big freedom flight across the ocean, they I can't get over it. Their speaking fees were around $1 million. They soon dropped to 500,000, then 200,000. And Harry has now been speaking at places like a realtor convention in Canada because he knows so much about real estate for 50,000. So go with God, guys. It's working out real well for you. You know, it's as a friend of mine, she's an actual socialite in Australia, said, my God, this is a Groupon. Ouch. It's pretty insane. Meanwhile, side note, any Australian down there watching, I have 100 US dollars. That's about 125 Australian left in my budget this month. Do you want to follow them around and take notes for me? Contact me. Let me know. I'm down. Be my Johnny on the spot. I need one. All right, next up, we've got Lady Gaga and Liza Minnelli. Oh, okay. So, you will remember a couple years ago during the Oscars when Lady Gaga wheelchaired Liza Minnelli out, and then to present some Best Actor award or Best Picture, some Best award at the Oscar, right? And Liza's in a wheelchair and she's stumbling over her words, and Lady Gaga leans down and goes, I got you. And of course, everyone was like, Lady Gaga, what class? What a lady. Oh my God, she's so wonderful and warm and blarg, blarg, blarg. Well, guess what? It was all set up by Lady Gaga. This is a shocker. Liza Minnelli, I love Liza so much. I really do. This girl's a survivor. She's hilarious and amazing. Has a new book coming out. And it's called Kids, Wait Till You Hear This. And I love it. And this is exactly what she said about that moment. Liza goes, I was inexplicably ordered, not even asked, to sit in a wheelchair or not appear at all. I was told it was because of my age and for my safety reasons, because I might slip out of the director's chair, which was bullshit. I will not be treated this way, Minnelli writes. However, Lady Gaga forced her to. Liza said, my co-presenter insisted she would not go on stage with me unless I was in a wheelchair. I was heartbroken. I was much lower down than I would have been in the director's chair. Now I couldn't easily read the teleprompter above me. How would you feel if you were wheeled out against your will to perform in front of a live audience and unable to see clearly? So when I stumbled over a few words, Gaga, who was at my side, didn't miss a beat to play the kind-hearted hero for all the world to see. I got you, she said, leaning down over me. And when Gaga found out Minnelli was upset over what had happened, she came to Minnelli's dressing room to say, are you okay? To which Minnelli looked at her and said simply, I'm a big fan. She also noted, I learned this lesson years ago from Mama and Papa at a moment of high stress. You stay gracious. My sources are telling me they have not spoken since, nor can I blame them. It's yet another thing of here's what you see and here's actually what happened. And God bless you, Liza, for actually telling the truth, because this is what I do all the time, either in my Substack column, in my column, and on my appearances for News Nation. I try to look at people and say, yeah, but this is what actually happened, as opposed to someone saying, isn't it so wonderful? This is why. And hordes of people going, right. And you're like, no, no, no. It's all manipulated. God bless you, Liza. Tap off, hats off to you. You're the best. Now, we got another one. I love this one. You guys might not know him, but I'm obsessed with him. He is the most handsome man alive. And if he were straight, I would be on his tail 24/7, probably in jail for being a stalker. Tom Ford, the most amazing international designer I'm hearing is leaving New York City. Yep. He bought Halston, that infamous designer's house on the Upper East Side a couple years ago, put millions into it, and now he's about to put it on the market for $45 million. Which is a lot, but it's worth it because goddamn, that guy can redo a place. And don't worry, he's not leaving New York for good. He still owns Jackie Onassis's old house out in the Hamptons, but he wants to spend more time in London because his son goes to college there, and he just happened to buy a 140 million pound mansion. I mean, I'm crying on the inside. It's 100. I mean, the money these guys have, it's just flown around, and I'm like reading it off like 140 million. Crazy. It is actually crazy. That's like the budget of a small country in the Middle East. That's okay. We'll all get there one day. Anywho, the good news is he's also looking for love. Oh, I know a couple guys who've gone on dates with him. He's apparently lovely. However, you can't really have a job if you're with him, and he kind of wants somebody to have a job. But if you are a handsome, world-trotting, lovely gay man who's a consultant and can work from anywhere, Tom Ford's your guy. Get in there. Go with God. And then we've got, oh, dear Lord, Jennifer Lopez, this one. This poor girl. God bless her. She's had a rough couple years. Everything she has done the last couple years has flopped. I mean, it's the second she married Ben Affleck, it was like the beginning of the end. And then, of course, she did what I like to call my favorite double feature ever, which is, the greatest love story never told. And then the documentary about it, because the movie in her mind, which is really like an hour and 20 long minute freaking music video, was actually so great in her mind that it needed its own documentary. I love it. It's actually so absurd. It is right up there with Showgirls in my mind. That double feature, if you watch the music video first and then the documentary while having a gummy, you may or may not have the best 4 hours of your life. It's insane. And then she followed that up with Kiss of the Spider Woman. And then, she had that Alien movie. Anyway, her tour got canceled. The record that she did about the greatest love story never told was canceled. She lost her record label over that. So technically, she's an independent artist right now. She lost her Vegas residency. She then got it back, and I use that term very loosely because it's a collection of dates of her doing her best hits. But last summer, she was relegated to doing a tour in places like Kazakhstan, appearing also at hotels on the beach in Egypt. So the mighty hath fallen, but that's okay. Our heroine will rise again, because while no one else wants to hire her, that's okay. She's hiring herself. And for this, I give her a little bit of credit. She's obviously not my favorite. She's not the nicest person anyone has ever dealt with besides her manager. However, if people will let you in their sandbox, go to your sandbox and build your own castle. And that's what she's doing. Her next 3 movies, she's not only producing, she is also starring in. One of which will be one of her good old rom-coms, The Office Romance. I'm sure we've heard that one before. But that's all right. Go for it, J-Lo. Love it. Meanwhile, then, of course, we've got the sexy rodent, Timothée Chalamet. Oh, my Lord, that guy. I wrote a huge piece in the Times of London this week about how even if he does win the Oscar, he has lost the war. So we all know about BalletOperaGate now. We got Doja Cat coming out. I love Doja Cat. We've got every single person who's ever done ballet or opera coming out, slamming him. You've got his fellow actors coming out and being like, But Timmy don't care, because the ballerina comments that he gave to Matthew McConaughey in Texas in February came out after the Oscar ballots were already done. However, I still say he may not get it because so many people are annoyed at not only the movie, because it was goddamn annoying, but annoyed at his behavior. He's come out and he said he's so great, he's wonderful, and this is his best role. He's doing, quote, top level shit. And even before this movie, for a complete unknown, he did the same thing. He really wanted it. He is thirsty for that golden statue, girl. It's like somewhere inside of him will never be filled unless he gets a golden statue. It's so bizarre. I mean, he's acting like a 20-year-old sorority girl in the South who doesn't have a boyfriend to marry after college. Sorry, I went to school in the South, so there we go. But that's how he's acting, desperate. But the thing is that the Daily Mail did a whole series last year about how he's actually not just drank the Kool-Aid, he's become a huge jerk. On the set of A Complete Unknown, he created a toxic frat bro set. He didn't want anyone to look at him. He commandeered an entire bathroom trailer for himself. A poor girl during the solar eclipse actually took a video or a picture of the solar eclipse, and he may or may not have been in the frame, so security made her delete everything. It's bad, stupid behavior. You know, it's, God bless. Do I want him to win? I don't really care, and I'll tell you why. I'm going to be watching on Sunday for two things. If he wins, how the audience reacts, because you know it's going to be softest clap ever, no standing. If he doesn't win, I need a close-up of Timmy's face. The fury. He may actually implode on the spot. You know what? Either way, for the audience, it's a win-win. So I'm excited for that. I will be live blogging the Oscars for the Times of London on Sunday night. So I'm excited for that. Oh my God. And speaking of the Oscars, yeah, this is hilarious. Every year they give out this goodie bag, right? Because that's what rich people need, is thousands and thousands and thousands of free stuff. And they get it. So all the nominees get this bag. And in the bag this year, of course, there's the requisite creams and cookies and luggage. And of course, these crazy trips all over the world. This year, they are adding in liposuction. Not kidding. Getting with the times. A plastic surgeon has offered liposuction, some plastic surgery, and this is also one of my favorites, a free prenup to anyone who may need it. Timothée Chalamet. I love it. This is just so Hollywood, isn't it? It's like all these goodies. Prenup, because you're probably going to get a divorce. You know, here's some liposuction, because even though you're on Ozempic and weigh 90 pounds, get your chin done. These people are bonkers. Now, they can gift the gifts in the gift bag. You can regift them, all right? However, it's a bit of a poison chalice because you have to pay taxes on it. So, yeah, that 30,000 gift, you're going to be like, thanks. It actually costs you 10 grand or whatever. It's hilarious. It makes me giggle so much. And thank you guys so much for joining in and being with me while I do my giggle. I'll see you soon. Actually, I'll probably see you tomorrow. Bye.